Hello, and welcome to the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. My name is Issachar Bey. I am the founder and the senior director. I want to welcome everybody to our weekly teaching. If this is your first time, please hit the like button. Let us know what city, what state, what country that you are listening from in the chat. If you haven't done so, also subscribe so that you will be notified of all of our teachings, everything that we have going on with the channel. And also, if anything of this channel has been beneficial to you and you felt that it was good, it was great content, great wisdom, knowledge, information, go ahead and hit that share button. Send it to your friends, your family, your loved ones, text message, email. Go ahead and copy that link. We want to thank all of you for tuning in to our channel. We are continuing with our series, The 8 Pillars of Success. And today we are on number 5, the pillar of financial intelligence. I think this has been an amazing journey. I've been getting a lot of great feedback from people who are listening in. For me, it's been great also because I understand the importance of pillars. I understand the importance of what's really going to allow us to be successful, what's going to allow us to embody the success, embody the life that we want to live. And I believe that these pillars that we are learning about every week will be the pillars upon which we stand that will allow us to experience and embrace the things, the success that we have been created to have, that we have been created. Success is not by accident. It's not an accident. It happens on purpose. Nobody becomes a success by mistake. It happens on purpose. And so I believe that these teachings that we do are putting us in an alignment, putting us in a place where we can be in alignment. We can be in one, as they say, one atonement or one alignment with these teachings. And what happens is that it allows us to move and to be able to embrace what happens in our lives. For I believe that we have the ability to create our own reality. We have the ability to live the life that we all want to live, experience the things that we all want to experience. We change our thought style, it changes our lifestyle. If you can, go ahead and get in a quiet position. I want to get into our mind treatment. I believe that this is a time where we get quiet and we begin to stay still and centered so that we can allow ourselves to be really open to receive the teaching for today. If you can, go ahead and take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Once again, take a deep breath and inhale and exhale. Again, take a deep breath and inhale and exhale. I turn my attention to the infinite presence, the divine source of all abundance, wisdom, and prosperity. I know that I am one with this limitless intelligence, that the same power that governs the universe also governs my financial affairs. There is no separation between me and the divine flow of wealth. I am part of it, and it moves through me effortlessly. I declare now that I embody financial intelligence. I align my mind with divine wisdom, knowing that prosperity is not accidental. It is a result of conscious awareness, right thinking, and intentional action. I release all patterns of financial limitation, lack, and mismanagement, for they hold no power over me. Instead, I embrace clarity, discipline, and wisdom in all financial matters. I affirm that I am a masterful steward of wealth. I attract resources, opportunities, and ideas that increase my financial well being. Every dollar that flows into my life is a tool for expansion, and I use it with wisdom, power, and integrity. I make sound financial decisions that support my highest good, and I trust that the divine law of abundance is always working in my favor. I release any fear or hesitation around money, for I know that it is a neutral force responding to my consciousness. I choose now to think abundantly, to act wisely, and then to invest in ways that create lasting prosperity. I attract financial mentors, opportunities, and insights that elevate my wealth and increase my capacity to give, grow, and save. I release this truth into the infinite law, knowing that it is already done. I walk forward with clarity, wisdom, and mastery, standing firmly in the pillar of financial intelligence and following and allowing prosperity to expand in my life with ease and grace. And so it is, and so it is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in today. We will be talking about the pillar of financial intelligence. Please, if you can, go ahead and hit the like button. The like button helps us to raise our algorithms. It allows us to be able to allow us to be more visible. People can see us. It allows us to be in a position where we can gain more followers and build our community. And so we thank you for hitting the like button. It is definitely, we do appreciate your help. This series, the 8 Pillars of Success, I wanted to get into this. We just got out of the Vision Board Mastery teaching series, and I wanted to move into this because I felt that this was an area that I felt was very, very important. I felt that it was a very important area because in this moment, it allows us to really expand our consciousness. And once we expand our consciousness, we expand our lives. Today, it is my intention that the teaching today, the golden nuggets that we give out, the information that's released today, will change somebody's life. That somebody will walk away from this teaching different than how they came before they listened to it. That it will allow you to feel it will allow you to be uncomfortable. That it will disrupt some things in your mind, some things in your thoughts. That it will make you uncomfortable enough that you will have to do something about it. That you would have to make a shift. That you would have to make an adjustment and begin to move in a different direction in life. And so it is our intent that we expand, that we stretch, that we challenge you to be the best version of yourself. And in doing so, we go through these teachings week by week. The pillar of financial intelligence. Move like the wealthy do. I always say that in life, everybody who's listening to the sound of my voice right now, ladies and gents, in life, we all are dealt a hand in the game of life. Life is a game. It doesn't matter how good or how bad the hand you were dealt is. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. What matters is how you play that hand to win in the game of life. And today we're talking about the financial intelligence. Move like the wealthy do. Move like them. We live in a world where people are conditioned to work for money instead of learning how to make money work for them. Money is not power. Financial intelligence is power. Rich is temporary. Wealth is permanent. The difference between struggling and thriving is how you move. Because see, rich says, I have a lot of money. Wealthy says, my money keeps creating money over and over and over again. I just keep creating money. My definition for wealth has always been the ability to finance one's own dreams. If you can finance your own dreams, that's my definition of being wealthy, to be able to finance your own dreams, your own desires. But to be wealthy is to have your money constantly creating, multiplying. Rich is sort of like, hey, I've sold a couple of companies. I may have 150, $200 million. They would say he's rich. But what I do with that money now can determine whether or not I move from being rich to wealthy. Some people make millions and go broke within years. Others start with nothing and build dynasties. The difference, they understand the game. Are you playing chess with your money or checkers? We talked about this last week, about the chess and checkers. Checkers players spend money. Chess players position money. I'll say that again. Chess players spend money. Chess players position money. Chess players chase quick wins. Chess players make moves that last generations. Checker players think about the next paycheck. Chess players think about the next decade. Checker players spend money. Chess players position money. Checker players chase quick wins. Chess players make moves that last generations. Checker players think about the next paycheck. Chess players think about the next decade. And so we got to ask ourselves, which one are we? Are we a chess player or are we a checker player? If you want to move like the wealthy do, you have to stop thinking like the average person. One of the things that I think is going to be vitally important with us in order to master the pillar of financial influence is that we learn how to leverage credit to build wealth, invest in assets that grow over time, whether it's owning real estate, business structures, create generational wealth instead of just living paycheck to paycheck. Money isn't something that you chase. It's something that you attract, control, and multiply. I've always said this, money will chase great ideas. You, my friend, you are a great idea. We talk about this back in our lecture of money, manifestation, mindset. You can go back and listen to it. In that series, we talk about how money chases great ideas. You don't chase money. Money is not designed for us to chase. As a matter of fact, money should be chasing us because money chases a good idea. And everybody who's listening to me, you are a great idea. Money chases great ideas. Stop thinking like a worker. Start thinking like an owner. Everything starts with perception. If you don't change the way you see money, you'll never change the way you use money. The worker's mindset versus the wealth builder's mindset. Workers trade time for money. Wealth builders make money work for them. Workers spend monies fast, invest later, if ever, and the wealth builders invest first and spend last. Let me say that one more time if it went over your head. Workers, they spend money first and invest later. Wealth builders invest first and spend last. Workers focus on income. Wealth builders focus on ownership. I'm going to get a little deep here, and then I'm going to come back out. Workers focus on income, and wealth builders focus on ownership, which means that, and we talked about this already, about the pillar of ownership, right? We talked about the pillar of ownership and the importance of ownership, of owning. We talked about you're not grown unless you own. What do you own? Ownership, right? But what I want to tell you is this. The worker is not even getting income. There's a difference between income and compensation. Anybody listening to me right now and you go to your job and you work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, you're being compensated for your time. And when you get your paycheck, you're not getting an income, you're getting compensation. They're either paying you a set salary or you're getting paid hourly. But you're getting compensated for your time. That's not income. Income is when I invest in Gucci, I invest in Microsoft, I invest in Apple, and the stock goes up and I make a profit. That's income. But our regular jobs, our being compensated for our time, that's compensation. That's not income. So I just want to make that because that we can go down a whole different rabbit hole with that. But I just want to make that clear that those of us who are workers, 9 times out of 10, you're being compensated. What you're getting is compensation. That's not income. Some will say, how do I move into a wealth mindset? How do I make this shift to go from a worker to a wealth mindset, a wealth builder? What you want to do is detach from the consumer mentality. Every dollar spent on liability, things that lose value, is money lost. So understand that you're detaching from the consumer mentality. Why? Because consumers, they spend. Every dollar spent on a liability, things that lose value or have no value, is money lost. Adapt the investor's mentality. Wealth is not made through earning, it's made through investing. See, a consumer will spend on a liability, whereas a wealth builder will invest in an asset. Why? Because assets are what generate money and what gives us increase. When you get ready to make transactions and transactions, you have to ask yourself the question, does this increase my net worth? Before making financial decisions, determine whether It builds wealth or destroys it. Money is a tool, not a master. Money is designed to work for you, not for you to work for it. The wealthy control their money. Average people are controlled by money. Wealthy people control their money. The average person, the worker, is controlled by money. You want to know what's more important than throwing away money? Credit. The wealthy don't use credit, they master it, they leverage it, they multiply wealth with it. The poor use credit to buy things that lose value, cars, clothes, vacations. The wealthy use credit to buy assets like real estate, business investments. Now, when I say poor and rich, understand I'm not talking about poor and rich as in your physical ramification. I'm talking about mindset. Being poor is a mindset. Being rich is a mindset. Because you can have a lot of things and still be poor. Poor is a mindset. The wealthy use credit to buy assets. One of my great friends, Mr. Will Roundtree, a good friend of mine, he wrote a book called Credit is King. You guys can go to Amazon and pick up a copy if you would like. His name is Will Roundtree, just like Richard Roundtree, the actor. I don't think they have any relations to each other, but it's Will Roundtree. He has a book called Credit is King. And I think, you guys will definitely benefit from reading that book. But he talks about in that book, what he talks about is how to use credit to leverage, how the wealthy use credit to leverage. And he's been on top of the world ever since. We just spoke recently, if I'm not mistaken, he just did the Nick Cannon show, where he was being interviewed by Nick Cannon, and they was talking about his relationship with the founder of Reebok and some of the doors that have opened to him. He's a big real estate tycoon guy. If you definitely are looking into getting into real estate and how to leverage your credit, he can definitely show you. He has programs and mentorship set up. I'm not giving him a commercial. Like I said, he's a good friend of mine. He would be the person in the physical realm that I can put in front of you that can definitely guide you into what we're talking about today. Credit is king. With credit, you want to learn how to increase your credit score. A high credit score gives you access to capital. You use credit to buy appreciating assets. You leverage your credit for real estate, business investments, and assets that put money in your pocket. You build business credit. The wealthy don't rely on personal credit. They use business credit to protect and scale their wealth. I wish I could go so much deeper into this, but everybody who's listening to me, you should have great credit. Listen to me. If there is a link in the bottom of this description, you can click on the link. I have a program called Credit Cure. You can click on the link and get the information you need. Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody should have great credit. I don't care if you have a charge-off, collections, medical bills, late payments. Those things can be removed, ladies and gentlemen. You can get yourself to where you need to be. Remember, money doesn't make you wealthy. Knowledge does. And some of you may be on this, listening to this right now, and you're saying, my credit is already shot. there's no way I'm going to be able to get out of this. Yes, you can. You just don't know. You don't have the knowledge in front of you. But we can give you that knowledge that will allow you to shift and move to the level that you need to move into. Credit is everything, ladies and gentlemen. Credit is everything. It is everything. If you know how to use credit, you'll never have to use your own money to get rich. I really don't want to go into the whole credit thing because this is not about credit. It's about financial intelligence. But there's so much that I can just talk about within credit that's amazing. A lot of people who are on this call and you love to travel, one of the things that I teach people too is when you get these credit cards, you get certain credit cards that give you points, and you pay your rent, you pay your utility bills, you pay your mortgage, you pay with the credit card, and then you turn around and just put the money back on the credit card. What happens is you get points, and those points you can use to fly for free. You can use those points for hotels. You can use those points to go on trips. You can even use those points to get gift cards and buy things. I've seen people buy furniture. People buy groceries. This is points that you get for using your credit card. So the same money that you were going to spend, you went and spend your personal cash, you would spend it on the credit card so that you can get the points, so that you can get the benefits, and then you would just go ahead and pay that off, and then now you have the points. What happens also, when you have a good credit score, you can now leverage that personal credit to get business credit. And that's just a whole nother avenue. But what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, credit is king. Most people are taught to work hard, save money, retire, and hope they don't outlive their savings. Or they're told, hey, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to save my money, and I'm going to look forward to Social Security, right? This is a slow path to financial struggle. The wealthy invest in money, they make it grow, and they live off the returns. I would say that when you have a wealth mentality, and you're looking at everything as an asset, you're looking at asset versus liabilities. You're looking to say, well, what can I invest in, and that will be an asset to me. Number one, automatically to me is going to be stocks, index funds, also stocks that pay dividends. I've always said this in plenty of my calls. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. Look at the stuff that you use. You guys use MasterCard. You use Visa on your debit cards. You guys fly Delta. You guys use Microsoft. You guys use Google. You guys use Apple products. These are the things that you guys use. These are the companies I would invest in. A lot of you may own Gucci, may own Louis Vuitton, may own a lot of these companies. These are the companies that I would look into investing in to become part owner, where I can now, guess what, get into assets versus liabilities. A lot of these companies pay dividends, which means that when you invest in these stocks, some of them pay dividends monthly, some of them pay dividends quarterly. Real estate, building wealth through ownership of land and property, buying a house, renting it out, buying a condo, putting it up for Airbnb, buying a multi-level house with multiple families in there and renting it out, making money, right? Real estate, business and entrepreneurship, owning something that generates income outside of your labor. Listen, everybody listening to me right now, you have an idea in your head. I'm going to say this. Everybody listening to me right now, you have $1 million plus in your head right now. The only problem you're having is you don't know how to get it out. I'll say it again. Everybody listening to me right now, you have $1 million plus in your head. You have an idea that can generate millions of dollars right now. The only problem is you don't know how to get it out. But when you learn how to operate into listening to what we've been teaching here, we can show you how to move that thought, that concept, that idea that's intangible, and bring it into the physical realm. Businesses and entrepreneurship. Digital and intellectual property. We talked about this before as well as ownership, creating books, courses, and content that sell passively. Everybody in here has an idea. Everybody in here has an idea for a business, idea. Everybody in here sees a problem that they may know the solution to. And I've always said this, the more problems you solve, the more money you make. The more problems you solve, the more money you make. And I have to ask the questions, are you solving problems or are you creating them? The key isn't just to make money, it's to make money multiply. And so that's the mentality here, friends. Worker versus wealth builder. The worker makes money, the wealth builder multiplies the money. So what happens is, as a worker, I have to realize, even at a slow level, listen, Rome wasn't built in a day, ladies and gentlemen. You take your time. This is not something that we're trying to do a quick fix, because we're setting ourselves up for longevity, for legacy, for generational, right? So yes, I realize I waste a lot of money. I do this, I do that. That money that I used to waste, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to start investing it. Even the little money, the $100 to $200, $300 that I can pull out right now, or $150 or $200, whatever, I'm going to start investing it. Why? Because even at that small level, I want to start making money work for me. Why? Because I'm learning the principle. I'm getting my mind, I'm getting my coordinates, I'm getting my habits together to start shifting into always invest first and spend later. I get my money, it's spent before I get it. Before I even touch my money, it's already spent. But imagine if I already invested my money before I touched it. Before I get paid on Friday, my money's already invested. And so the mentality changes. Wealth is built on ownership. And the most powerful thing you can own, ladies and gentlemen, is land. Renters, they make landlords very rich. Renters make landlords rich. The wealthy don't just live in houses, they own properties that generate income. The person who owns the land owns the power. Somebody says, yeah, but the way the government is set up, how do we get property? How do we get land? They're not going to give it to us. You gotta have money to do that. Where do we get the money from? Excuses. You can either create excuses or you can create opportunities. Now, I believe that anybody can do anything they want to do in this world. They just got to believe that they can do it. I heard a rich man say one time, he said the easiest thing for him to do was to make $1 million. He said the hardest thing for him to do is to believe that he could do it. And so what happens here, as you listen to this, you may have to go back and listen to this again, ladies and gentlemen, but as you listen to this, I want you to hear the words that are being said. I want you to really listen and hear what's being said. Because we have to stop making excuses. There's so many ways for us to get to where we need to be. As you tap into that level of consciousness and your mind begins to expand, the information, the situations will start to unravel and things will begin to move into your trajectory. There's FHA loans. There's house hacking. There's rental properties you can get. Um, there's you can buy properties that appreciate and generate cash flow. You know, you can use real estate to replace your 9 to 5 income. There's so many different ways. I'm not a real estate expert. That's why I push all of you guys to check out the guy Will Roundtree. He does have a course and to where he allows you to build your credit so that you can leverage it to get into real estate. And his track record speaks for himself. So you can go and that's who I would put in front of you. Somebody who has been validated, verified, battle tested, and is for sure 100% legit. Own land, own real estate, and you own your financial future. Now, when you own something, owners have a different mentality. Owners move out of assets and liabilities. When you start looking at assets and liabilities, things begin to change now. You start looking at things differently. You start only seeing the things that make money as opposed to things that take money away that have no value. So what will eventually happen is you'll start moving things out of your life, things that don't have any value to you, things that will get in your way, things that will pull you away from uh, expanding and growing. And you want to get those things out of the way. Why? Because you're moving into a wealth building mentality. This pillar of financial intelligence gives me the ability to really get myself rooted and grounded in a wealth builder's mentality. You know what? I do use a certain kind of toothpaste. I do have a debit card that's a MasterCard, a Visa. I use Microsoft. I use Apple products. I watch Netflix. I watch Amazon Prime. I order from Amazon Prime. All of these major companies I use. I could be owning them. I drink Coca-Cola. I drink Pepsi. These are companies. These are situations that I should be invested in. I wear Nike shoes. These are the companies. I drink Starbucks every morning. I should be. I should own stock in Starbucks as much coffee as I drink every morning. Every morning on my way to work, I have to stop and get me a Starbucks. Just imagine if I owned however much money I've been going for the last 6 years, I could have been buying stock where I could have been putting myself in a position for assets as well as liability. It just changes the way you think. It just changes the way you see things in life. From worker to wealth builder, from consumer to wealth builder. It changes the dynamic. It changes how we flow, how we operate. It changes how you run your household. It changes how you instill things in your children. Because once you shift, your consciousness shifts into this wealth builder's mentality and you begin to tap into this financial intelligence, what happens is everything around you begins to change now because you have changed. You're moving out of survival into financial freedom. Nobody wants to try to survive. Nobody wants a survival. This whole survival mentality. You know, a couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to get out of the United States and go to Europe for a conference. And I went to Belgium. I went to a few countries. But when you get outside of the United States, you really get to see that some of these countries don't move on the survival hustle and bustle that we got. You know, 9 to 5, trying to make ends meet, you know, just going, just, you know, moving and hustling and grinding. You know, when you get outside of these countries, there's a kind of an ease. There's kind of a gentle life flow where there's no turbulence like we have over here. And I know that this is the greatest country in the world, and they say this all the time. But sometimes when you go to these other countries, they don't have that survival instinct like, oh, I have to survive. I got to make it. Got to make ends meet. I got to do this. I got to do this. And we're running all over the place, and we're going nowhere. There seems to be a sense of flow, a sense of just calmness and a kind of peace in the midst of still living. Yes, we live, we work, but there's no survival. I got to hustle, bustle. There's none of that. So sometimes when you get into a mentality, you begin to understand that I need to get out of that survival mentality and begin to move into a mentality that allows me to be financially free, a wealth builder's mindset. Because I now look at everything. I'm watching TV now, and I'm looking at, I watch Netflix. Guess what? I can buy the Netflix stock. I can own Netflix. I can be a part owner of Netflix. As much Netflix as I watch, I can be a part owner of it now because guess what? Everything I'm looking at now is an asset. I'm no longer looking as a consumer now. I'm looking at everything in my life as an asset. How many assets can I become a part of? And ladies and gentlemen, let me let you know something. I don't care how much money you have or how much money you don't have. You can start where you are. You don't have to wait until you can start where you are. You can go and say, hey, I want to put $10 on Netflix. I want to put $10 on Amazon Prime. You can start where you are. You want to start the habit of always thinking about assets and what little money you do have. Just start moving in that direction, right? They say a habit is created in 30 days. You want to just keep the momentum going of thinking about growing, expanding, thinking about assets, thinking about companies that will allow me to put my money to work for me instead of me working for my money. So I'm not waiting for Social Security when I get of that age, or I'm not depending on that because I have other financial things set in place that I already had put in position. I always want to be in the right position and in the right place. Wealthy people think down the line, what's going to happen 10 years from now? What's going to happen 20 years from now? They don't live day to day. They live they live decades by decades. 30 years from now, we want to be set up. And so we have that ability to do that. As a wealth builder, yes, you can start today. Financial intelligence. You want to start accumulating everything financial at your own pace. I told everybody, I think it was the end of last year, I told everybody to start getting a brokerage account, whether it's Fidelity, whether it's TD Bank, whether it's Schwartz, whatever brokerage account, to start getting a brokerage account, to start really looking into that. We talked about all of that. You know, when you go back to the money mindset manifestation, go back and listen to that series, and I think it will really push you and propel you into understanding the importance of becoming financially free. And that, ladies and gentlemen, some of you may be saying, I don't have the money, I can't afford to invest right now, I believe I would have to tell you this: you can't afford not to. But what I would say is that your biggest issue is going to be your mindset, because you're already giving an excuse why you can't instead of giving yourself permission to. You got to put yourself in a position to win, ladies and gentlemen. You have to put yourself in a position to win. I make money work for me, not the other way around. I attract wealth by making strategic financial moves. My credit is a tool for building wealth. I own assets that generate passive income. I make smart investments that grow over time. I am financially disciplined and intelligent. My money flows to me effortlessly through multiple streams. I leverage my resources to build financial freedom. I think and move like the wealthy do. I use credit as a stepping stone to greater wealth. I invest in real estate to create generational wealth. I am in complete control of my financial future. I protect my wealth with smart financial strategies. I never waste money. I make every dollar work for me. My financial knowledge increases every day. I make strategic alliances that build my net worth. I am wealthy because I think, act, and invest like the wealthy. I make money in my sleep because I own income generating assets. Financial freedom is my birthright, and I claim it now. You know, this pillar that we're standing on today, ladies and gentlemen, is a pillar that I believe will allow us to really grow and expand. I think that it will be crucial for us to really take this stance. Listen, in life, you're either a master, you're either a creator or a creature. Creators create, and creatures, they tear down, they destroy. And if you are a creator, that means that you are in control of your life, that you are creating your own reality. When you stand on the pillar of financial intelligence, a lot of things will change, ladies and gentlemen. Your mindset changes. You start, if you take into what I'm saying today and you really take it in tonight while you're watching television and you're watching all of these commercials, you start looking at these companies as assets. You start looking at Ford, General Motors. These used to be regular car commercials that you used to watch. Now you realize, wait a minute, I can actually, these are assets. I can invest in these companies. I know that all the cars now seem to be going electric. You know, you start to think, you start to look at assets, you start to look at things from a different perspective now, because now you're in a facility mindset. You're in a mindset, a wealth builder's mindset, where now you're starting to look at the world for assets as opposed to liabilities. Standing on the financial intelligence pillar will free you from paycheck dependency. Yes, it will. It will free you from the ability to build. It will free you up and allow you to have the ability to build generational wealth. It will give you access to financial leverage and credit power. It also will allow you to have passive income that grows over time. It will also give you security and financial peace of mind. I think everybody here will sleep so wonderfully well if all your bills are paid and you had $1 million in the bank, you didn't owe anybody anything, and you had millions of dollars in the bank. You would be able to have a sense of security and a sense of financial peace of mind that would be unprecedented. You also will get the ability to invest in big opportunities. It also will give you the opportunity of ownership of appreciating assets. For some, it will give you the ability to retire early. It will give you the ability to control over how and when you work. It will give you the ability to have access to higher financial networks. Remember, you only get out of life who you are. When you start moving in a wealth builder's mentality, guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? You start attracting those people. You start moving in those circles. You start attracting people. You go to Starbucks every morning, and all of a sudden now you run into two people that you've never seen before, and they're in this big financial wealth group. They just automatically appeared. Now that you have been in your mindset, shifting your mindset to a wealth building mentality, now you start attracting all these people into your life. Nothing happens by mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Everything happens on purpose. There are no accidents. There are no mistakes. Everything happens on purpose. So you start pulling in these people because guess what? You shifted your mentality. They are coming to you because you are a magnet. Your mind is a magnet, and it can only attract what it is. So you have a wealth building mindset, which is now magnetizing the wealth builders mentality people around you, and the opportunities are showing up. This pillar also gives you the ability to make better decision making with money. Remember, wealthy invest first, spend last. Consumers and workers, they spend first and invest last. You have the ability at this point to help others financially. And that's most important because you want to make sure that your kids, your family, your loved ones, your siblings, those people in your family also have the information and the opportunity to become financially free and to be able to stand on this pillar as well. Ladies and gentlemen, these pillars will change your life once you embrace them and realize that these pillars are what we stand on forever. These pillars are what allow us to evolve. It allows us to grow. It allows us to expand. The benefits of these pillars also gives us the opportunity so that our wealth lasts beyond our lifetime, which means that after we're long gone, the generations to come, generation after generation after generation, understands the model, the teaching, the mindset has been duplicated from generation to generation. I think one of the most important things that this pillar does for us is gives us the confidence in our financial freedom. Because when you start moving in confidence and understand your confident ability based on your knowledge, wisdom, and experience, it changes things with you because You're no longer afraid. You look at life differently. You approach life differently because now you have created the life you wanted to live. You created your own reality. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, standing on the pillar of financial intelligence will give you the opportunity to live life on your own terms. And I think everybody here wants the ability to live life on their own terms. I've always said to this, live life. Don't let life live you. Don't live a reactive life. A lot of us are living a reactionary life. Things are happening in our life and we're reacting to it. But we have the ability to tell life how we want to live and let life be reactionary to us. Live life. Don't let life live you. But I believe that you can live life on your terms, on your own terms, on how you want to experience life and how you want life. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Ladies and gentlemen, rich is temporary. Wealth is permanent. Credit is leverage. Use it wisely. Invest in assets, not just income. Own your financial future. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for today, this great Sunday. I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I think that this was an amazing time we had today, jumping into this lecture, jumping into this teaching on financial literacy. I hope that somebody got something out of today that they can walk away and say, you know what, I'm shifting my mindset to start to make money work for me instead of me working for money. Everything I look at now is an asset. I'm looking at how could I invest? How could I get my money to start working? But more importantly, how can you get your mind to start working? Because once your mind starts thinking that way, everything else falls in place. I said this already earlier tonight, this afternoon. The easiest thing to do was to make $1 million. The hardest thing to do is to believe that you can do it. So I say all to you to stand on this pillar of financial literacy is going to be the easiest thing for you to do is stand on the pillar. The hardest thing to do is believe that you can. And so I want to thank all of you for your constant support, your consistency. Listen, if you haven't done so, please hit the like button. It helps us out greatly. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and share this teaching. If you found it to be great, life-changing, beneficial to you, share it with 5 or 6 of your friends, your family members. Let them know we're here every week, same time, same place. I want to thank all of you, those that are listening, and we want to invite you to be part of our circulation. You may be saying, hey, man, this is a great message. I want to donate to your ministry. I want to donate to your organization. It helps us greatly. We are now, like I said, we're using it to advertise, to bring more people in, to increase our territory, to make ourselves more visible, expand, and so forth. And so we want to thank all of you for being a part of that. Listen, if you want to be part of our circulation, we believe that whatever you release out of your hand and you put it into this organization, into this ministry, we believe that it will circulate back to its original point of origin. We speak it into existence that you will receive 100-fold return for whatever it is that you release into that. We ask for $26. Some of you may say, I don't have the $26. I have 5, I have 10, I have 15, I have 20. Some of you say, I may have more than that. I feel like I want to release more than that. Whatever is on your heart's desire and you release it into this ministry, we speak it into existence that you will receive that 100-fold return. We also want to say this, that we believe that life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. We believe that whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. which means as wealth builders, you invest into this knowledge that you get, and believe it or not, it will circulate back to you and take care of you. I've always heard this folk tale that says, if you take the money out of your pocket and put it into your head in return will fill your pockets back up again. Let me say that again. If you take the money out of your pocket and fill it up into your head, and you go to school, you get educated, you buy books, you take the money out of your pocket and you get the knowledge into your head in return will fill your pockets back up again. And I believe that is the power of circulation, ladies and gentlemen. There's 4 ways that you can give. We have Cash App, which is going to be $TOESC. Then we also have our Zelle and our PayPal, which are going to be info, INFO, at TOESC.org. These ways to pay are also in the bottom of the description. You can see that's for Zelle and PayPal, info at TOESC.org. And then the last way you can give is Venmo. Venmo is going to be Issachar Bey, ISSACHARBEY at gmail.com. That's Issachar Bey at gmail.com, and that's for Venmo. Those are the 4 ways that you can give. I want to thank everybody for your donations. I want to thank everybody for your time. I want to thank everybody for sharing this, for sharing these lectures, these teachings, and for hitting the like button. We want to thank all of you for helping us out. I would like to say this one thing. Your destiny is not a matter of chance, but it's a matter of choice. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.